Welcome, and thanks for being with us today. Your commitment to enhancing your English abilities and bettering yourself is truly valued. Many people who learn English share the same feeling, which is studying for years but still feeling nervous when they have to speak. You know some grammar and some words, but when the moment comes, your mind feels empty. The problem is not that you are bad at English, but that you learned it in a way that was never meant for real life. Most English classes focus on passing exams, not on using English in daily situations. You learn rules, fill in blanks, and choose the correct answer, but you rarely practice saying what you really think. Because of this, your brain keeps English as school knowledge, not as a communication tool. So when real life happens, your brain does not know how to use what you learned. If you listen to real conversations, you will notice that people do not speak in very complex sentences. They use simple words and familiar patterns, but they use them fast and naturally. Fluency does not come from knowing difficult words, but from using basic language again and again. Once you see this, learning English feels less heavy and less scary. At the beginning, learning more and more new words is not the most important thing. What really matters is using a small group of common words very well. These core words give you a strong base, so you can express ideas even in simple ways. When you can use them freely, you start to feel that English is working for you. A word only stays in your memory when it is linked to your own experience, not a textbook example, but something about your day, your work, or your feelings. When you use words to talk about your own life, your brain remembers them more easily. At that moment, vocabulary becomes a tool, not something to memorize. In real conversations, you do not need many different sentence structures. You only need a few flexible patterns that you can adjust to many situations. When something unexpected happens, you do not panic because you know what to say. Confidence comes from knowing you always have something you can use. Many people cannot speak because they wait for the perfect sentence in their head. But real communication does not need perfect grammar. It needs movement. When you allow yourself to speak imperfectly, your brain learns to connect ideas faster. Fluency grows when you keep going instead of stopping. Grammar may sound strict, but it is really just how people are used to speaking. When you learn grammar with real situations, your brain copies instead of memorizing. You start using correct structures without thinking about rules. That's when grammar stops being stressful. Many learners cannot understand listening because they try to catch every single word, but native speakers talk in chunks, not separate words. When you train your ear to hear common phrases, your brain understands faster. Listening becomes smoother and more natural. English has rhythm, stress, and natural pauses. If you only focus on pronunciation of single words, you miss the flow of the language. When you feel the rhythm, speaking and listening become easier. Natural English comes from familiarity, not effort. Thinking directly in English takes time. At first, you will translate in your head and feel slow. But each time you stay in English a little longer, your brain learns a new path. Slowly, translation fades away. Forgetting words is part of learning any language. Your brain does not keep things that you only see once. When you meet a word many times and use it in real situations, it stays. Memory works best when you don't fight it. Some people learn very fast but stop because they feel tired. Others learn slowly, but they continue and go much further. English is not a race, it's a long journey. When learning feels light, it lasts longer. Learning English is not about becoming someone else, but about expressing yourself more easily. When you learn from real life, practice every day, and accept mistakes, English becomes natural. One day, you will notice that you are not studying English anymore, you are simply using it. If you find this video interesting and helpful, please give me a like and subscribe.